Good morning, this is Deb, and I'm here to show you how to do a collage sheet. Knowing how to do collage is very helpful when it comes to all kinds of things. If you're making tags, if you want to decorate pockets, decorate a page, making clusters. So being able to layer and do a collage is very helpful in junk journaling. So this is the one that I did yesterday to show you as an example. So what I have used is a piece of cardstock that I tea-dyed, and so that the back side it looks aged and distressed, and I collaged on the other side. Because you're going to basically cover everything. Now, I did leave a little bit. Some folks don't. They trim it off. I happen to like the way that looks, so I left it like that. What you want to do is start with whatever your base is. So here's what my base is. This is going to be the back side. This is going to be the side that I collage. And what you need are lots and lots of scraps. So this is one of several scrap boxes that I have that's got all kinds of awesomeness in it. Anytime, I mean, you can see that's just a little tiny scrap of paper but that's still perfectly good. You know, you can decorate pages. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with that. So you don't want to throw anything away. I mean, I've got even, as you can see, a little hunk of string in there. So it's hard telling what you're going to find in here. So you want to have something like this. I use a glue stick. And the first thing that I do is go through all of my box of stuff. And I kind of dig out everything that appeals to me. And you want to start with, as you can see here, bigger things in the background. Then you're gonna, and they don't have to necessarily touch each other like this one does, because like right in here this was completely and totally open. So you don't want to necessarily cover everything with your big stuff. You can leave openings, because then your medium-sized stuff is going to go on top of it, and then you'll fill in with little stuff. So let's get started. And I have pulled out a variety of big things over here. These are my big scraps. And so let's see what looks good. I may not be able to get this done in 30 minutes because this is kind of a time-consuming process. So I just kind of started putting things around to see where I might like it. And if it has a straight edge like this, I don't want straight edges, so I'm going to tear that off. This is a straight edge. I'm kind of at an awkward place here trying to do all this. Trying to do these things on camera is or can be awkward. This one, I'm going to go ahead and tear it at a strange angle, because you never know. You don't want everything all straight. And so whatever you put on here is basically going to be covered up for the most part. Now, not everything. It's going to be, obviously, it's going to be, you know, showing in some respects. A bigger piece. And as you can see, my coloring in this instance is very neutral, or what I would consider neutral. And you don't have to do that. You can put anything you want on yours. So just kind of, this is a, oh, I like this piece right here. So we're just going to put all this stuff out. Here's another piece. So see, you just kind of start getting a general idea. Well, here's a piece that I definitely want to use. Let's see, how much of it do I want to use? So let's tear this down. I did tear this out with a ruler, but even that leaves a pretty straight, and straight is not what I'm going for right now. So let's just kind of tear this down. This has got really great handwriting on it. This is actually a digital, and most, well, I was going to say most everything that's on here is a digital. It isn't, though. This is a book page from Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. This is a piece of paper napkin that's been dyed. This is just the center part. These two things are digitals. This is a book page. This is a piece of like straw paper. Love that paper. I got it off Amazon. This is a piece of card. You know, when you pull cardboard apart, and that's a hunk of that. So let's work with these things and see what we've got going here. Let's open our glue and start gluing this stuff down. So you've got a little pile here of the bigger things that you're thinking that you're going to use. Move all these things to the side. And you can start gluing down. You can do it one of two ways. You can put glue on the back like this. And it doesn't matter that you're gluing on top of this page, because you're going to glue it anyway. You're going to get glue on it. And make sure you've got glue to the edges. Glue, glue, glue. And let's put this like this. Let's be different. We don't want everything looking the same. Take my trusty and most favorite tool, my Teflon bone folder. Okay, let's put this one down next. Now this one's straight, and because it's going to be covered, I'm going to put this straight on the inside so that it gets covered up, and I want these raw edges to show. I hope they stay in frame. We all know that I'm not good at that. Here's a book page. So you could also do it like this. Put your glue directly onto the paper. Kind of want to twirl it around there. The thing I like about this glue is, let's see. Let's do this side. One of the things I like about this glue is that once it dries, even though you may have gone past, like here, I've gone past that, which I'm going to cover that up, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't work out that way. But it'll dry and it won't be sticky anymore. So let's put this on here. Once you get to the smaller pieces, you're not going to want to glue onto the top like this because, you know, obviously you'll glue into the top of your page. So there we go. Kind of like that. So you don't want everything to be, you know, like on top. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say here. So like, see how this looks, these look on top, and then this, so it looks too nice and neat. So maybe what you might want to do is do it like this, so that it looks more staggered, if that makes sense. So, but I don't know if I want that there. Maybe here. I kind of like that there. Looks better like that though, doesn't it? And maybe that there. No, I like this one better. A little pop of color. Probably should, sideways is one thing, upside down's up, excuse me, a whole other thing. Got a frog in my throat this morning, which I've always got a frog in my throat. He lives there. There we go. That looks good there. So I don't want to glue this down yet because I don't know for sure if I'm going to put something under it or over it. So we're just going to leave that part unglued momentarily. I do kind of like it like that though. You can see I've kind of got a color scheme going here. Maybe pull a little bit of that lacy looking stuff in. This is actually digital, even though it looks like book page. That's not bad. So we're going to put that there. Oops, got one of my frou-frous stuck to that. Sorry about that. And so I'm going to overlap it just a little bit. And you can overlap it as much as you want. So I think I'm going to overlap this here because I like that crusty look. And this paper is a digital, but you can see how it, when they digitized it, they left the crinkles and the folds and all that in, which I think is super cute. I like that. You know, I like rusty, crusty, and dusty, as you know. So I'm going to put this here, like that. I put some glue behind there. Like so. Like that. You probably hear my heater going. My room is quite cold. It's in the front bedroom. And so the heat has to travel a ways to get here. I'm sure you all can relate. Let's put this one here. Gonna kind of cover it up. Over here in this corner. I'm not going to put it side by side like this because you want it to be staggered. Oops, let me tear this little edge off. Much better. Okay, now let's put this guy down. Good. Need a little more down here. It's very early in the morning. My husband's not been feeling well. I was going to do this yesterday, but my time didn't allow. I was doing other things. My husband and my daughter both are not feeling well. I got the crud. So once you start getting smaller, you can use your glue stick and your finger together to kind of move your paper around. Like that. Oops. Not put that upside down yet. Well, I don't know. Looks like some of the papers are upside down, so okay. I did not put any distress ink on the edges of any of these. I don't actually use a lot of distress ink. I mean, some projects I use a lot, and then some I don't use any, but most generally I actually don't use a lot. This or this. I think probably that. Let's see what else we got in here. Here's a little piece of, ooh, I like that. So, decision made. One decision made today. So there's nothing wrong with auditioning and looking at, just like when you're making quilts. Audition your paper, see if you like it before you glue it down. Cover that up. Oh, that's looking pretty good there. A little edge here. Edge here. Okay, so that's looking like that's pretty well covered. Now we can start our bigger. Now, surprisingly enough, I've got all my areas covered, which last time I didn't do that, and a lot of times I don't. So, but this time it happened to work out that way. So now we're going to start pulling in smaller pieces, and generally what you want to do there is, well, I don't want to say small pieces, but smaller pieces, because then what you're going to start to do is fill in your holes, which, you know, in this case I don't have any. I really like this paper, so I'm going to tear this down because I don't want it necessarily to be a banner or whatever you call these, a flag or whatever. But so here, a lot of times you want to also cover up intersections. That doesn't look bad. So we'll cover up that intersection. Not that I think that it needs it, but and it doesn't always have to be straight. Wonky works. Here is a kind of a, this is a digital, but it looks like lace. So let's put this on here. This is real the real deal, the real music paper. We find a lot of music paper at, I've got it by the boatloads, at Goodwill's. So here is something that my granddaughter made, and I want to put this on here. So I'm going to tear it down really close. This is called fussy tearing. I don't know if I've told you this before. I don't remember what I've told you. So this is called fussy tearing. So you're not going to, in this case, you're not going to tear it right up on the line. You're just going to tear it close. So this is when it's just close and not necessarily on the line. It's called, if you're using scissors, it's called kiss cutting. So you're not really, or maybe kiss cutting is when you put it on the line. I don't know. All this terminology still is, if it were quilting, I would know, but ooh, I love that on there. That looks so good. So this is a digital that my granddaughter made for me, because she knows I love gardening stuff. Which reminds me of a couple of things. We're going to start working on a gardening journal here soon. So start collecting your gardening magazines and books and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But in addition to that, I also wanted to remind you about on our Facebook group that Krista has gathered together quite a few scraps and all different kinds of paper, and she's put together a random act of kindness group. So if you're interested in receiving one of her random acts of kindness packages, go on to our Facebook group and sign up for that, and she will be sending those out soon. So this, if you're interested, best be getting on there and putting your name in the hat. So she's got, she lives in Nova Scotia, but she's got a certain number of U.S. packages that she's going to send. I think there's 10 U.S., 10 international, and 10 Canadian, maybe. I don't remember. So you just kind of want to, you know, look at your paper, see where it might look good, and you're just, like I said before, you're just going to layer it. So now, as you can see, I'm starting to move towards more of the small pieces. Now, there are times like you could also put this on there. I think that's a little too bright, but I pulled it out so that I could show you the size of how, if you put a larger piece on there, see, a nice large piece would look good there, wouldn't it? Don't necessarily think I want the bird because he's such a bright color. I don't know. What do you think? He's not bad. He's not bad. But look at this great piece right there. I really like this. Where can we put that? And if it doesn't work, then put it back in your box and call it good. So, I may like that someplace, but not just yet. Also, you kind of want to try and stay with the same thickness of paper. So like this paper over here that I showed you that I really liked. This is a thicker paper, but I really like it, so I would use it if. Now here's a piece of vellum. I printed a digital onto vellum. I really like that look because, as you can see, when you put it on there, you can still see through the vellum. So, might put this on here. That's nice. Alexa, stop. So that's my 25-minute alarm. So obviously I'm going to have to do this in 2 different videos, or else I could hurry really fast because I have her give me a 25-minute warning. So let's put this on here. And because I really wanted to show you too how I like to add fabric see if I can do that really fast. See how you can see that music paper through here? That looks nice. Oops, it's not straight. Oh boy. I'm telling you, once you get this stuff down, it does not like to come back up. Let's put this down a little straighter. Yeah, that's better. I don't have that glued down right good yet, but I will. So, over here I've got lace scraps. I've got fabric scraps. Just little hunks can really, so kind of play with that and add little isn't that cute? I'm going to put that on there, but probably not so big. I probably won't use such a big piece. I'll tear a piece of that off. Here's a little pop of color that you could put on there. There's a lace piece that you could put on there. It could be pretty. So, this is a piece of avocado dyed fabric. I dyed this with avocado. And so, who knew that when you dye with avocado, that it is pink. So let's put avocado on here. Some avocado paper. Where do we want that at? Kind of like it there. So we shall put it there. But you pretty much get the idea of what I'm talking about. There's a lot of different things that you can use when you've made a either a 12 by 12, this happens to be 8.5 by 11 piece because it's what I dyed, but if you were to use a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper that you did not like one side or even both sides, because you certainly don't have to use both sides, but you know, once you've got this all put together, you could cut it and make tags out of it. You could cut it and use it as pockets, either, you know, long side pockets, belly bands. You could cut it into smaller sized pockets. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do with these collage boards. It would make a great, I thought I would use this one. And you can see how I've put the fabric pieces, little pieces of doily. These are vellum pieces, but wouldn't it look great if it were a journal cover, which is what I'm going to use mine for. So anyway, my time is about up, so I'm going to go. Hope you have a great day, and don't forget to go on to our Facebook page and sign up for the Random Act of Kindness. All right,